On my clock, it is 9 o'clock, and I will call to order the November 24th, 2020 meeting of the Saline County Board of Commissioners. And I will ask, like Tammy is setting in for the county clerk, and I will ask you to unmute yourself, Tammy, and call the roll, please.
Commissioner Vidrickson?
Here.
Commissioner Shadwick?
Here.
Commissioner Sparks?
Here.
Commissioner Weiss?
Here.
Commissioner White?
Here.
Okay, it's kind of difficult for us to give a flag salute because I don't know if anybody's even got a flag that they can salute at this time, but we will recognize that we have acknowledged that. I will ask, however, for a moment of silence, please. Thank you very much. At this time, we'll move into our citizens input portion of our meeting where citizens may speak on county government, usually limited to 3 minutes and pertaining to items that are not on today's agenda. And let's see, Brad, are you controlling the switchboard?
I am, yes.
Okay, do you have anyone who wishes to speak?
No one has raised their hand, Commissioner.
Thank you. We'll move to action items. Item number 1. And Tammy, there we go.
The approval of the consent agenda as presented.
And for some reason, I don't have the consent agenda in front of me. What is, I know that the today's consent agenda consisted of past meetings.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
the consent agenda today consists of approval of prior minutes for October 6th, October 20th, and October 27th, approval of tax roll adjustments as presented, approval of accounts payable and payroll as presented, and approval of the public forum agenda as presented.
Okay, you have heard the agenda. Are there any commissioners who wish to amend or withdraw anything or add to the? I see no one. Everyone's shaking their head no. So at this point, we will approve the consent agenda. And now we'll move to action items. Item number 1.
RFA 260-20 temporary referral incentive.
Okay, and that's with Sheriff Solden and Marilyn Leamer, Human Relations Resources Director, and Marilyn and Roger.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
This request for action is to let you know that recruitment efforts for corrections officers have not been yielding very good results. We've had the same vacancies since July. We utilize the newspaper, Kansas Government Jobs website, Indeed, social media, radio ads, TV ads, area billboards, schools. We also use our own website where we have an area where interested parties can register for an alert when we have an opening. So our request is to drive those recruitment dollars a little different direction to a temporary referral program that would align with our corrections officer hiring incentive. Our proposal is that an employee, if they refer a candidate and that candidate is hired and has a satisfactory job performance in 6 months of employment and then also at 1 year, the referring employee would get a $500 incentive at that 6-month time frame and then $1,000 at 1 year. This temporary referral incentive would expire after these 7 positions are filled. So alternatives for action would be to approve the temporary corrections officer referral incentive, do not approve it or delay it for further information. Our recommendation is to approve that so we can attempt to maybe use a different referral to get some candidates for corrections officer. And if that is approved, we would have some guidelines that we would be included, that we would roll that out with that. As far as the budget impact, upon those 7 positions, that would be $10,500 if all 7 were filled. And the sheriff's office budget hasn't funding to do that due to the current vacant positions. And I'll now defer to Sheriff Solden to see if he has some additional comments.
I just think that, I just wanted to share with you that Marilyn and I didn't just come to this, we kind of working at every angle we could think of to try and get people recruited. We just can't get anybody to apply, and when the few applications we've had haven't worked out. So we're just trying to get some applicants in here, and I think with the base of county employees, it wouldn't just be sheriff's employees eligible for this, it'd be all the county employees. So if they could get somebody in front of us that they think would be a good fit for corrections, you know, anything we can do to get people in the door right now is going to be good for us.
At this time, I'll ask for commissioner comments. I may do it a little bit differently today, rather than just start to speak out. I may call on each one individually, if that's okay with everybody. Commissioner Weiss, do you have any comments regarding this?
No, I find it pretty self-explanatory.
Okay. Commissioner Shadwick?
I'm good.
Commissioner Sparks?
I'm good.
Commissioner White?
I hope it works. We've got to do something.
Exactly. I do have one question, Marilyn, on the budget impact. The $10,500, is that for the remainder of, if they were to be hired right away, is that the remainder of this year? Or is that what does that 10,500 mean?
That's what would be paid out to those referral employees if we're successful in getting that. Right now, there are several vacant positions, so those salary dollars, I don't expect we would get anybody on, even towards the end of the year, or enough people on at the end of the year that we'll probably still have some vacancies after the first of the year. So the 2021 budget in the sheriff's office should be able to also fund that.
Okay, I'm following you. That 10,500 is referral, and that would be a cap on that at that point. I would also suggest that perhaps we look at this, if this doesn't come up with something, that we look at this again sooner than later, rather than wait 90 days and see how it comes out. I'm talking like the first of the year. We need to get serious about this, because particularly with the new jail coming on, and we need to be ready for that situation, and we need it to be safe over there, that's for certain. So I commend you and the sheriff both for bringing this before us. So at this time, I would ask for a motion to approve this.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the temporary referral incentives as presented by staff.
Is there a second?
I second the motion.
That was Commissioner Shadwick that made the motion, and Commissioner Sparks seconded the motion.
And Mr. Chair, was there any public comment?
Excuse me, you're correct. I would ask Mr. Bowers if there's any public comment.
Mr. Chairman, no one has raised their hand at this time.
All right, thank you. So on item number 1, which is RFA 260-20 temporary referral incentive, it has been moved and seconded that we pass that RFA. Are there further comments? If not, I think today we're going to do it a little bit differently, and I will ask for a vote individually. Commissioner Weiss?
Aye.
Commissioner Shadwick?
Aye.
Commissioner Sparks?
Aye.
Commissioner White?
Aye.
And Commissioner Vidrickson is also aye. So that motion passes 5-0. We'll move on to item number 2.
RFA 24820, Title VI Plan Review with Marilyn Leamer, Human Resources Director.
Okay, good morning, Marilyn.
Good morning again. Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the amendments and related laws state that recipients of federal aid highway funds cannot discriminate on the basis of race, color, age, disability, gender, national origin, or low income. The Kansas Department of Transportation receives federal funds, and in turn, the county receives funds from KDOT. This makes the county a recipient of those federal funds and responsible for implementing Title VI requirements on all contracts over $10,000 and in all programs and activities, not just highway-related contracts. On September 9th of 2020, myself and County Engineer Justin Mader did participate in a review of our existing plan. The meeting did result in some minor revisions to our current plan. The plan is to be reviewed every 3 years for possible revisions or anytime changes in the demographics of the agency's service area are deemed significant. So this request, the alternatives for action is to approve and adopt the 2020 Saline County Title VI plan or do not approve and adopt. Our recommendation is to approve and adopt. The budget impact would be there's no budgetary impact unless it's not approved and adopted, and then that would jeopardize funding that we do receive.
All right, once again, I'll go around the horn asking for comments. I don't, okay, there. Commissioner Weiss, are you still with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, do you have any comments?
No, I don't.
Okay, Commissioner Shadwick,
I'm good again.
Commissioner Sparks,
It looks all ready to go.
and Commissioner White.
Thank you.
House cleaning.
I agree, and it would be a mistake not to pass this for certain, the way I see it. So I would take a motion at this time then, please.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the resolution as presented by staff.
Second the motion.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we, excuse me, I will ask for, I'll go ahead and accept the motions, and I will ask Brad if there's anyone from the public that wishes to speak with this. I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit.
Mr. Chairman, no one has raised their hand at this time.
All right, thank you. Once again, it has been moved and seconded that we approve RFA 248-20 with the plan review, and all of those in favor, and I will start with Commissioner Weiss,
Aye.
Commissioner Shadwick,
Aye.
Commissioner Sparks,
Aye.
and Commissioner White.
Aye.
Okay, that motion does pass 5-0. We will move to item number 3.
RFA 247-20 Media Specialist Service Contract. Laura Lee Tibbetts, Deputy Director, Health Department.
Good morning, Laura Lee. And Brad, with her calling in on the phone, do you need to unmute her?
I do. Can you stand by one?
Yes.
She need to unmute herself. Okay, she can hear though. Could you ask Laura Lee? She's going to have to unmute herself.
Laura Lee, we need you to unmute yourself. Well,
Mr. Chair,
yes, go
while
ahead.
we're waiting on Laura Lee, maybe I can pinch hit for a moment because I'm familiar with the item.
I don't know.
So this item,
R9.
having a person on as a contract employee for the health department to provide media relations, particularly relating to the COVID-19 pandemic, but also a number of upcoming projects. And so the proposed action is to enter into a service contract with Melissa McCoy for these services. And the funding will come from grants related to COVID and other health department items. And staff does recommend approving the engagement with Melissa McCoy to improve our community relations. And I'd be happy to try and answer questions, or Deputy Administrator Stambaugh is familiar with this one as well. We've both discussed it with Health Director Tiller.
All right, this time I would ask if there are any questions from any commissioners or any comments. Seeing none, Brad, do you have anybody standing by on the phone who wishes to comment?
Checking now.
Excuse me?
I'm checking now.
Okay.
Um, and no one has raised their hand. And I would like to add that someone has gone across the street to help Laura Lee get her phone unmuted. So hopefully that'll be done in shortly.
All righty. Thanks so much. At this time, then I would take a motion on the item that we're speaking of, RFA 247-20.
Mr. Chair, I move we adopt resolution 247-20 as presented by staff.
I second the motion.
All right, it's been moved and seconded that we have, and by the way, have I asked for public comment again?
You did.
Thank you very much. Hit myself again. It's been moved and seconded that we approve RFA 247-20 medial specialist service contract. And I will ask for a vote starting with Commissioner Weiss.
Aye.
Commissioner Shadwick,
Aye.
Commissioner Sparks, Commissioner White,
Aye.
and Commissioner Vidrickson is also aye. So that motion does pass 5-0. And I probably should have explained this to start to the public that might be watching. Every one of us is at a different location in a different room. We're social distancing. We're going by the rules, and we're staying apart. So it's a little bit new to us to run the meeting like this. So I hope you can bear with us, or bear with me as mistakes are potentially made and corrected. So
Mr.
we'll move
Chairman,
to item. Excuse
this
me.
is Brad. Laura
Yes.
Lee has been unmuted and she is on the phone, I believe.
Okay. Hello, Laura Lee. Hello.
Hello, I just wanted to say thank you. This is Laura Lee, and Lauren came over and unmuted me. There was a problem with my computer, but thank you, Phil, for taking this over.
Okay, thank you very much. And Phil did a good job of pinch hitting for you. So we do appreciate you, though, calling back and getting with us. So thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye.
Okay. We will move to item number 4.
RFA 262-20, revisions to resolution 20-2297, Philip Smith Haynes, County Administrator.
Good morning, Phil.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the public, members of the commission.
Can you speak up a little, Phil? Phil, can you speak up a little?
I certainly can try.
Okay, thank you. That's better.
Okay. Back in July, your commission passed resolution number 20-2297, which implemented an requirement for face coverings, more colloquially known as masks, in the areas of the county outside the city of Salina. And the intent expressed by your commission at that time was to parallel the ordinance that the city of Salina had passed 2 days prior, so that a consistent set of rules regarding the wearing of masks would be in place throughout Saline County. Last night, the City Commission of Salina did make some changes to their mask ordinance. It is not entirely clear when those will go into effect because as a ordinance of the city, it goes into effect upon publication. They believe that will be sometime this weekend. So staff has prepared for the commission amendment number 1 to resolution number 20-2297. This amendment, if adopted by your commission this morning, is proposed to go into effect this Saturday. Hopefully that will align with the implementation of the city's ordinance. The changes are relatively minor. It introduces a definition for the word room under section 1. It deletes some wording under section 2A regarding distancing of 6 feet within indoor spaces. And it changes section 3 to basically shorten it, tighten it up, and then does add an exception, a new exception for persons who are in a room with no other persons present may take off masks. And the other piece of this is when your commission adopted the resolution, you requested that it be reviewed every 2 weeks. And so I have tweaked that language a little bit to continue that if your commission so desires. So those are the basic changes to, again, align with the ordinance that the city adopted last night. The alternatives for action for your commission would be to take no action, which would leave in place the existing language of resolution 20-2297, to amend the resolution to mirror the changes that the city of Salina made last night, or to amend the resolution to make any other changes your commission desires. Because the city's final approval was last night, I did not get this out to the commission until late last evening. So I don't know if you've all had a chance to take a look at it, but staff would recommend at this time that you go ahead and adopt amendment number 1 to resolution 20-2297. And I did hear from County Councilor Mike Montoya early this morning, and he has approved the form of that amendment. I'd be happy to answer questions.
All right, I will once again start around the horn here. Commissioner Weiss, do you have any questions or comments?
The one question, the health order that we met and passed on Friday, how does that play into this resolution? Is any of that verbiage there, or is that a standalone order?
The health order that was considered by your commission on Friday does refer to local mask ordinances and resolutions. It does not contain any mask requirements in and of itself. So it refers back to the city's ordinance and the county's resolution. And so if those are changed as they were in the city of Salina last night, that would not impact the health order.
Okay. Anything else, Jim?
No, I appreciate the explanation.
Commissioner Shadwick, any questions or comments?
No.
Commissioner Sparks? And he said no. Commissioner White?
No.
And I will concur with them that I don't have any questions either. Brad, are there anyone online that wishes to comment on this resolution?
Mr. Chairman, no one has raised their hands at this time.
All right, thank you so much. At this point in time, I will take a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the amendment as presented by staff.
Okay, I can see that Roger was that he acknowledged the second, but he wasn't unmuted. So, and then Commissioner Weiss did speak up and second the motion for you, Tammy. And that is that we approve. It's been moved and seconded that we approve RFA 262-20 revisions to Resolution 20-2297. Further comments, and I will just say that I think it is wise to parallel as closely as possible when we see fit to go with the city's recommendation also, and so that there's not confusion. So, any other comments? If not, all those in favor, well, I'll go with the roll call again. Commissioner Weiss?
Aye.
Commissioner Shadwick?
Aye.
Commissioner Sparks?
Aye.
And Commissioner White?
Aye.
Commissioner Vidrickson, also aye. Motion passes 5-0. We will move into the informational items.
Commissioner, before we leave this topic as sort of a transition between this topic and the next informational items, I did just want to discuss with the commission briefly that we did receive correspondence from the city of Salina. In addition to their passage of the ordinance last night, they have also asked if we would sign on to a letter to other area local governments encouraging them to adopt restrictions similar to what we have done. That letter has not been drafted yet, so I don't know what it says, but I was asked by the city if I could bring that up at your meeting today. So there you go.
Okay, if you recall, I did mention that very topic last week at our meeting, that suggesting that we contact some surrounding counties, particularly Ottawa County and Lincoln County, that didn't have any ordinances regarding that. After listening to the city's comments, I too want to kind of get into that a little bit further. I think it's a great idea. But I think, we have people coming to work in Saline County that come from Republic County, Cloud County, Mitchell County, Ottawa County, and so on, and all around us. So I think it needs to go further than just Ottawa County and Lincoln County. So I think anything that we can do to encourage them, their commissions to look at the mask adoption and knowing full well that they're coming here where we're a hotbed, and maybe it's affecting them and maybe not, I don't know, but nonetheless, anything we can do to help that along, I think we should do it. And I will speak up for Phil in that he has one day to do something here. So I don't think we need to, I think we need to have a consensus that we do want to do something about this, but we can't do it today or, this week yet. And I hope that the other commissioners would concur with that. So that's my 2 cents worth there.
When you're saying that it has to be done today, is the letter going out today?
Well, I think that was a kind of a thought that people had, and we can't react that quick. I mean, we can't expect Phil to drop everything he's doing and write a letter. And besides that, I don't think the city was ready to write their letter yet anyway. So perhaps what we need to do is let Phil talk with the city manager and come up with a dual letter or whatever they want to do. They're both pretty smart gentlemen, so I think we can rely on them to put something together. They know what we want. We've kind of stated that. So let Phil get with the city manager would be my suggestion, and I'll let Phil comment on that if he wants to, or if we want to do something on our own. So, Mr. Weiss, did you have something or no? Sorry. Is that okay with you, Phil, if we do it in that manner?
Certainly, I'd be happy with the city manager. I guess I would feel a little more comfortable before something goes out if the full commission has the opportunity to see it.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
I concur.
Anyone else to want to weigh in or have a comment?
The concept is good.
I agree.
Mike White speaking, and if we can piggyback with the city on this, then I do agree we need to see the draft before it is shipped out. I'd feel better.
Anything we can do is going to be of a help, I think. Anything. So, okay. Once again, we'll move into informational items.
Commissioners' comments?
Does any commissioner wish to make a comment this time?
Nope.
Seeing none, item number 2, announcements. Are there any announcements that need to be made?
I'll just remind everyone that the city county building, along with most other county facilities, will be closed this Thursday and Friday.
Okay, our next order of business is a executive session, but at this time, as we have not had a response from all of those that needed to put evaluations in, I'm going to suggest that we hold off and hold this meeting next week. And I think that agenda is pretty clear for next week, so it'll give us some time and give Phil some time to look at those things. So we need to get all of those evaluations in as quickly as possible. At this time, I guess the only thing left is adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adjourn today's meeting. I want to thank everybody before I do adjourn it that to going along with this. It's difficult to handle it this way, but we'll get it handled and we'll continue to move along. So, all right, all of those in favor of the motion of adjournment, please say aye.
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 And
Aye.
I will adjourn the meeting. Thank you for watching.
Happy Thanksgiving.